Hi guys, let's have a look at the 7 in the Enneagram. The 7 is part of the head triad or the thinking center of the Enneagram. This is a person who thinks before they feel or before they go with their gut instinct, so to say. I've had 7s before say to me that they think of their emotion rather than they feel it, which is really interesting. The animal that I explain the 7 as is the monkey. So if we think of a monkey, it's one that can be a bit cheeky, but also one that swings from tree to tree and struggles sometimes to just stay put on the ground. They stay on the ground for a little bit and they jump back up on the trees, and they like to swing and enjoy and be more adventurous, more exploratory. So why do they do this? The 7 in the Enneagram is someone whose fear is of being trapped in emotional pain. So the way that I explain this is it's someone who doesn't want to be trapped in a commitment just in case if they get hurt, or that they get too attached to certain people or to certain things like activities or a job or a career or a certain path in life, because if it doesn't work out, they could be very hurt from the emotional pain of that. So it's almost like seeing a commitment or being attached to something as an entrapment, so to say. So the 7's response to stress is no surprise positive. They are someone who like to see the positive in life. They like to find the silver lining. Now, this does not mean that every 7 is bubbly and really jumpy and up in the trees and really a party animal. That doesn't mean that. Of course, there are some 7s that do that, but we are going to talk about subtypes another time. But for today, we're talking about the lens of the 7. So this lens is someone who likes to find the silver lining, who says, it's all right, we'll work it out, don't worry about it, it's okay. There's no point in being so depressed about that. So I've also had some clients say that they can walk into a room and there's a lot of negativity or a lot of sadness or a lot of not good feelings, and they as a 7 like to lift it up and say, it's all right guys. Let's say if it was a passing of someone, they say they had a really good life, or at least they're out of pain. So they find the silver lining, and that's why people gravitate towards them. Very often 7s have a lot of different groups to choose from, a lot of different friendship groups, because people gravitate towards this happiness, towards this joy. So their gift is joy, no surprise. So with this, the behavioural style is assertive. So as you can see, the 7 walks into a room and everyone's down in the dumps, and they can lift up the happiness. So they can assert themselves and say, I'm happy, so you have to be happy. Come on, guys, let's lift up the mood. A lot of people in corporate love to have 7s around because they like to lift up the energy in the team, in the group, sometimes even in a meeting. But there's a little thing about the 7. Every type has something that they have to work on. And the thing the 7 has to work on is how to just stand on the ground and just be quiet. Just pay attention to everything, that not everything always has to be bubbly and happy and positive. So sometimes I talk to 7s who have just figured out they're a 7. They're really happy about being a 7. They're like, yeah, I'm a 7. I'm optimistic. I'm bubbly. I'm positive. Even if they're not bubbly or positive, they say, I'm someone who looks at the light side of life. I achieve because I want to achieve, not for everybody else to look at me. I don't care what people think of me. So they say all these things, but then they say to me, but I don't know anything else about the 7. I just know that they're really happy and bubbly. So if I ask them, well, do you know the things that you need to work on, the things that are difficult about the 7? Oh, no, I don't remember that. So the thing about the 7 is there is more to life than just this happy, bubbly, positive, silver lining side of life. The concept of equanimity is really important when it comes to certain types in the Enneagram, I think for every type. But for the 7 specifically, equanimity is living in this state of calmness when life doesn't go so well. The thing is that the 7 believes that they are living in calmness because they're responding positively, or they're responding from a silver lining, or they're not showing their emotion, or they don't even feel their emotion in a difficult situation. But that doesn't mean it's not there. So this path for the 7 is learning that the joy and the positivity and the silver lining and this beauty that they have is so important in life, because we need people like them. We need that lens in life. But we also need to teach them how to stand on the ground and be aware that there's more to life than that. There's more to life than butterflies and rainbows as an exaggeration. There is also the hard times, and that's what makes the light in life shine so bright when we compare the two. You cannot have darkness without light. So equanimity is something that the 7 can work towards, of having a little bit of both, of acknowledging their feeling first and foremost, and saying, I am stressed, I am unhappy, and that's okay. So saying the "and that's okay" takes back the strength. Being aware that I am fearful of being trapped in emotional pain. Is that making me struggle to connect with my partner? Is that making me fearful of taking the next step in the relationship? Is that making me say no to a party invitation or not going to a party that I've said yes to? It's the path of the 7 of learning how to say no to certain things, being committed, and learning to sit in both the good and sometimes the not so good. But still be you, still have your light, still have your joy, because we all need a little bit of that in our lives. So if you're a 7, what are the things you're working on? What are the things that you love about being a 7? And what are the things that you're working on that sometimes are hard for you? And if you know a 7, what's something you love about them? Why do you like to be around them? What's something that attracts you to them? Subscribe below for Enneagram RC videos, and let's learn how to live life better together. I'll see you next time.